right. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Yeah, I think so. All right. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Tiny? Happy Monday. Good to see you. Market is going crazy today. Market's ripping. Um, despite the riots in Brazil, market is continuing to rip. So yeah, I was worried that the market would be affected pretty heavily to the downside with those riots, but it's not. So here we are. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Hope you feel refreshed. Hope you feel balanced. Hope you feel all those awesome things. Let's jump into the charts today because I'm kind of excited to trade because it's just ripping, ripping, ripping. Hopefully, it's not ripping with a bunch of choppiness like it was the other day. I'm going to turn this volume down a little bit. Y'all probably can't hear yet, but here we go. Let me know if the music's too loud, and I'll adjust it. Market going crazy. Up here at 39.60. Let's take a look at our view app. View app is down at 39.40, so we only have a $20 difference off of view app. It's not bad, but we are hitting the top of the volume weighted average price right now. This is what it looks like on the 3-minute chart. We do have a little bit of a double top there. Let's take a look on the 1. Okay, so on 1, we have a fresh breakout here. It's kind of nice being in the beginning of, like, January is such a hot time for trading that we really kind of get a lot of the bullish action in January here. So, all right, so we're going to join the bid here, take a small feeler trade. Kind of near the top-ish, so I will bail if I need to quickly. But the reason why I'm taking this trade is you can see we've got this red-yellow move right here. We've got this nice pop off of this right pre-crossover. And then right as we get the crossover, we also get the TTM squeeze on the long side. So my exit point here is right at the upper band of the volume weighted average price, which would be on a new high at 39.62, which I think is going to hit. And so I'm just going to wait on this trade here and see if it fills. I will cut it though if we drop much. Cutting it now. Okay, so take that profit, 150. Gonna join the bid here. It did end up ripping past. Ended in at 61.75. Man, we could have held that for this full 62. I can see that 1 minute pullback, or that really it was more like a 10-second pullback. I'm gonna take that profit off. All right, so we're up $250 on 2 trades, super fast. Gonna now reduce this action here and just go for +4. We are at the top of this, so I'm gotta be careful. Join the bid off 63. Looking for a push to 64. We are at the top of that upper band of the volume weighted average price. So going red on this trade at the moment. Gonna actually, because this is like near the top, I'm just gonna put this right here at 1 tick. Yeah, I'm out. All right, up 150 on the day. Another pop inbound. Damn, sure just held it. $4.8 to 5.7 on the TTM. Should have just held through that first initial pullback. I could see a fall down off of this upper band here. So I'm probably going to have to cut this trade and potentially switch it up. Take a look at the 5. 5 is just rip, rip, rip. Kind of hard to determine much off that. Because we're at the upper band of this VWAP here, yeah, I honestly should have been looking at potentially a micro short, but that's okay. Still holding on to this trade for a moment. 5.7 to 6.5 on TTM. Pop back up to 63. We're going to get out right at 63. I don't know if it's going to happen. seeing more selling pressure coming in, so I'm gonna cut this trade. Down $100 on the day, keeping it tight right now. And I'm gonna actually switch to a smaller scalp, just off 2 ticks, and 6.4 to 7.4, 5.7, 6.4, 7.4. Now we're coming up and hitting it again. There was a lot of selling pressure on that candle on the bottom of that doji. But again, when we have a doji that kind of pulls back after some pullbacks here, there is usually some buying pressure that steps in. Tried to get in off 61.75. I'm just trying to take like 1-2 ticks. Okay, we're back to flat on the day. And we are seeing some pullback now. Just want to check in with y'all, see how y'all doing. So we're back to flat. Hey, what's up, Douglas? Been a long time, my friend. Hand pink waving. I'm assuming that was an emoji. Good balance, yeah. All right, so by the way, I know that y'all know, but please like, subscribe, and ring that bell for noties. Always does, of course, make us feel pretty good around here. Taking a quick in and out on a short. And there we go. $100 back up on the board. So we are back up on the day. Took 6 trades so far, and you know, it's kind of sad that we ended up back on the here, but that's okay. I think we may see a little bit of fall down now. Not much though. I'm not gonna like put a lot of faith in shorts on the day since we are so bullish. But I'm taking really micro scalps today. I remember our day that we had last week where it was ripping in the morning, and it just ended up getting really choppy, even though we had a lot of volume. I'm hoping that's not the case today, because my edge is just not there when it's choppy. And I think it's probably the same for a lot of people, but I know my trading, and it's just not there. It's just not there very well when it's super choppy. All right, made another $100 back, up 250 on 32 contracts. So it's definitely an expensive 250. So it puts us up about 110 on the day after fees. TTM looking like 7.0 to 6.9, so actually looking a little bit stronger on the buy side. May go for like 6 ticks potentially. 7.0 to 6.9 to 6.7. Yep, gonna join the bid here. Look for a 6 ticks long. Gonna be probably riding the TTM waves today. Cutting it. Taking $100 off on that one. So now up 350 on the day. The reason why I took this trade, and I want this to be very clear, is because this went from 7.0 to 6.9. So this was basically flat between these two TTMs here. Even though you saw the chart dropping, you can see that the TTM was basically flat. So what that tells us is that we're going to see a nice pop like what we're seeing right here. I probably could have got that full 6 ticks, but the reason why I took that off as well was because it wasn't breaking through at quite the momentum that we're seeing right now. So from 6.9 now to, so this also went 6.9 to 6.9. So again, flat to 6.8. You can see that hammer candle forming right there. And when we pulled back, we bounced off the 12 EMA. So we made another run up here to about 63.5. I was going to join the bid there off of 61.5, but we ended at 62. Looking to exit at 63.5. I'm going to drop this down to 63. Just in case we don't run up to 63.5 and we stop just shy of it. All right, so we did get that up at 63. Now we're at 550 on the day, looking a little bit healthier on the P&L. So that's 40 contracts times 4.36. That's 174.40 in fees minus our 550, puts us at a net of 375 on the day. Not bad. Taking 8 trades so far. Wait, 10 trades actually. I'm sorry. Taking 10 trades so far. Yeah, so all right, guys, just want to check in with you. How are you guys doing? I want to know. Red, green, blue, purple, any other color of the rainbow. So guys, we will get back on the evaluation here in a couple of days. My rebill comes through over the weekend, so next Monday we'll be back on the evaluation. Today we're in the sim, and you can see we're pushing up, making new highs. This was what I was talking about here. I took it off a little early, I guess, but it's all good. 6.9, 7.1, 7.2. Again, pushing up, making new highs. Watch out for pullbacks off the upper band of the VWAP. You can see pullback here off the upper band, and there's high likelihood of continued pullbacks off the upper band for more moves that look like this. I'm gonna pull back a little bit more now. I know that we're making like highs in the last couple of days. You can see why the upper band is so respected. You see rejection here, 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 and here. So upper band is and along this whole line as well, is definitely an area that we want to watch. Whoops. Oh my gosh, that would be so disorienting to me if the time and sales is on my right. I actually might end up getting rid of the time and sales as well as this whole side. I might just start trading like this just for a slightly larger chart, but I don't know that I want to or need to, but maybe we'll give it a shot today. It might mess with me. Let's see if I like it. I don't have a need for that whole side. It's not when I'm trading futures. When I'm trading stocks, I need that side, but not futures. I really don't need to know what's going on with the news. I really don't need to know what is happening with I don't jump around. I pretty much just trade this one thing. Short right here. Over 2 ticks down. It's very small. This is messing with me too much, so I'm going back to this. It's too big. Cutting it. It's popping up too much. Lost 200 on that. Now up 350 on the day. I'm going to slow down a little bit. I think I'm going a little fast. So I'm going to slow down just a wee bit. Zoom out. Yeah, all good. Like Douglas, that's actually what I've been doing a lot with stocks, is doing more like longer term trades. And just looking for like stocks that have been beaten up that I think have really high value. Amazon is one that I'm in. That I just think Amazon is like, I mean, at 80 something bucks, like I think it's a steal of a deal. This is my own personal thoughts. Is not financial advice, of course, but I'm looking for like really good companies that are beaten up right now. Yeah, that's what I'm doing in my live account as well. It's kind of like not really day trading much, mainly because of my focus is on futures. Got a top here at 68. A lot of buying pressure coming in on this. Entered small. Took a little trade. Yeah, Douglas, if you notice a lot about my trading style, I really do like. I stay really zoomed in a lot of the time. Mainly because like a lot of times I am scalping, or I'm taking momentum trades. When I'm taking momentum trades, though, it looks like this. Like this one here, where you'll see like it'll kind of consolidate for a while, and then it'll turn like red on the TTM, and then switch. Like when it switches from red to yellow, that's one of my favorite trades. One of my favorite strategies that has a really high accuracy rate. And then the other time, I like here's another one here, another example, where I would have entered on this candle here, or possibly this one. So one of these two candles I would have entered in, and then I would have looked for like 12 ticks on 4 contracts, which would be worth like what, $750, I think, something like that. I think it's 600 actually. Yeah, 600. That's what's worth. 750 is for 5 contracts. Hitting resistance to the upper band of the volume and average price, which is to be expected. If we do pull back, my thought process is pulling back to like 65, which is right here at the 9 EMA, potentially the 12. I think we have a long way to go before we actually like do a full-on pullback. So profit target is probably $1,000 today, maybe a little bit higher. Definitely today is like a day that I could probably push because it's not super choppy. The moves are pretty reasonable, as opposed to last, I think it was Friday, where it was very clearly a bullish day, but also incredibly choppy from like start to finish. The whole way around was just super chops. Where are we looking at on TTM? We got 7.3 to 7.3 to 0.1 to 6.7 to 0.2. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick short here. And again, I'm just looking for 2 ticks. Kind of taking more trades than I normally do for smaller profits. And that's okay to do sometimes. There's that pullback to the 9 EMA that I mentioned. So 6.2 to 5.5 and a 5.1 on TTM. So moving at about a half a point on TTM. 5.5 to 5.2. Now moving at less of a downward rate, which makes sense. You can see we're getting that buying pressure on the bulls bears, where we're getting more buys than we are sellers by a pretty hefty amount. And sellers stepping in kind of. But definitely a lot of bounces off the 9 EMA today. I guess I should have taken the play off of 67. Really, I should have taken it off of the 9 right here, where I saw the TTM start to flat out. But not just with the TTM, but also because we had the 9 EMA bounce, which is its own strategy in and of itself. One that I'm not particularly accurate in. So which is why I have a little bit less confidence, but I do know a lot of people who trade it. So I do have a little bit less confidence in that particular strat. But it is a valid strategy. I just have less experience in it. Taking a look at the 3-minute chart, and it's kind of flat on TTM with like a slow grind to the upside. Taking a look at 5. 5 is still on the rip. We're about 5 minutes out from the top of the hour. We have a new 5-minute candle coming in about 40 seconds. I'll try and take a short off here. I am basing off a 5-minute candle though, so you guys know that my success rate with that is kind of minimal. It worked out though. Trying to get better at trading the 3 and the 5-minute charts. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's a skill like anything. My mastery is more around the 1-minute chart though. $5.3 to 4.8 to 4.6 to 4.5. Kind of a balancing on the TTM. Joining the bid long. See if we get an entry. Entered on the doji. The doji is a little bit higher at the top, so I don't love that. Yeah, should have taken it as a sign. I'm out. Slow grinding on the profit today. I'm gonna step back a little bit, up 500 on the day, but 500 gross. I'm gonna take a step back just a little bit and kind of cool off. I can tell that my energy is a bit frenzied, so I'm very clearly playing into the market movement and the market energy, and so I'm gonna take a couple of breaths and just stretch out a little bit and sort of like take some breaths back. Gratefully, no big losses on the day, and still slowly grinding up some profit. But I definitely know that I could be doing better. Yeah, so Douglas, like in regards to like market recession stuff, I'm just reading this comment here uh, about seeing people going out and all that. Um, I think that in regards to market recession and things like that, I think like entertainment is the last thing to go a lot of the time because I think that when people start getting like depressed and have um other stuff that they're dealing with in regards to those things, they look for escape, they look for outlets, and I think that things like entertainment and whatnot like continue on. That's why bars are filled up and during depressions. It's because like a lot of those things like they have short-term suffer, but long-term they're pretty stable. People look for escape in those types of things, but I don't think that's what you're seeing and what we're experiencing right now. I think that people like a lot of people haven't like necessarily woken up to what the recession that is actually here. And for good reason. The Fed and the market are doing a lot of work in order to keep people interested. You can tell like we're making new highs today. Nice fall off. I'm glad I cut that trade. And I think that when the market does pull back or crash, my lights are flickering. I wonder if my power's going to turn off. I think when we do actually see a real market crash, I think that it's going to happen almost all at once instead of a gradual downturn. I think that when it does happen, it's going to happen and it's going to happen hard. Wow, my lights just keep on flickering. I wonder what's going on. Is there weather? I'm checking my weather to see if there's like a storm or something. Nope. Nothing. it could be up in the Pacific Northwest. People have been attacking power plants and like bombing power plants in the Pacific Northwest. So that might be the situation. I know that they've been working really hard to keep the infrastructure alive, because so many people have been. That we've had several attacks in the Pacific Northwest on power plants. So I think that you are kind of correct on that. I definitely think that the Fed could have like stepped in much, 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 much sooner and start like fighting inflation. Like, frankly, like if I'm being completely honest on my own personal opinions, and I do work very hard to keep politics off of the stream. But if I look at policies, not politics, but policies, like I can tell you that I personally was opposed to the stimulus checks, the very first ones, and every single one thereafter, because every time a stimulus check is printed, and inflation gets its wings. So, and I read this study by Goldman Sachs analyst that said for the two the what was it, $1,400 stimulus checks back in 2020, um for the for the stimulus checks, for the $1,400 stimulus checks, for every one that goes out, each person who receives one will eventually pay $16,000 in inflation for each $1,400 that is issued by the federal government on inflation. Taking a short off of this for the blue to red. I could just be going in the wrong direction. But I'm looking at this blue to red here on CTM and looking for a short downward. So he was estimating about $16,000 in inflation for each person being paid based off the stimulus check. So basically, for each American receiving that stimmy, I guess I shouldn't have taken the short. They would pay roughly 16 grand in inflation. That's a lot of money in inflation, and it makes sense because you're borrowing money from the World Bank. This isn't like the government doesn't have this money. They're operating on a deficit, and they have been for decades. So it's kind of like what happens is the government's basically a teenager with a credit card, and no offense to teenagers, but a teenager with a credit card with no financial experience. And what happens is they basically, they have a certain amount of revenue, which is significantly less than what they spend, and then they operate at this deficit and put themselves in a financial situation where they don't have the credit to be able to back up their spending. So then they raise the credit limit, which they call raising the debt limit. But it's basically the same thing as like you saying, okay, I have $1,000 credit card and I spent $1,300. Can you raise my limit to $2,000? And then the bank's like, okay. And so rather than getting caught up on your credit card, the bank just raises your credit limit so you can continue your patterns. And that's what we've seen from federal spending for a lot of years. And I do not want this to be a political topic, if we can avoid that. But that's basically what I see. It's very unsound monetary and business practices. Regardless of where you fall in the political spectrum, I think it's unmistakable and undeniable that our government on both sides of the aisle, on all sides of the aisle, spend money foolishly and Like when you're spending $180,000 to see if a metal replica of Thanos can make a snap sound, like that doesn't sound like very good money well spent to me. Or, multiple millions of dollars to see if crack cocaine on beagles makes them have adverse effects. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's, if you put crack into any living creature, it's going to have negative effects. And so, when I see those types of things happening, I'm like, okay, clearly this is practically intentional at this point. Um, like when you're seeing that sort of like reckless spending, it's clearly like it has to be intentional. There's just no way that somebody could do this and like think that it's smart. I don't believe that that is even a possibility of humans, regardless of how intellectually challenged a human may be. I just don't think that that is a real thing. um, we got a red to yellow forming after a red to yellow already back here. Oh wait, no, that didn't go red to yellow. So we have a red to yellow forming. This actually is pretty decent. We had a lot of buyers on both the last candle and this candle. But the current candle is getting less traction than I wanted to see. So I took that off. Up 750 on the day. Want to see more momentum come into that candle, and it'll probably happen. There it is. But now we got a red to yellow to now cyan switch and now a new high. Some resistance up there at 69. Pulling all the way back to 68. Buyers still in control as evidence on the Bulls Bears. The Bears are trying to put in some work, but you can see that the Bulls are still outpacing. So, by the way, guys, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, please make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. We do the stream every Monday. Every Monday. We do Monday through Friday at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. And so, if you guys like seeing sound practices and learning about trading, as well as some ideas and thoughts on the economy in and of itself, then like, subscribe, ring that bell for notice. Enjoying the bid here along. And I'm going to reduce this to maybe 3 ticks. I may only end up taking 2. Yeah, I'm going to cut it. All right, made $50 on that. I hope my power doesn't go out. My lights keep flickering. There's not any inclement weather or anything. So there's no obvious reason as to why that would be happening. But in the Pacific Northwest, we've had a bunch of attacks on, violent attacks on power plants in the Pacific Northwest. From Oregon to Idaho to Washington State, just attacks on the electrical grid by groups. And so we've had power outages as a result of that, and power inconsistencies. So hopefully they get that under control. But yeah, my lights keep flickering. It's really odd. Market doesn't seem to be affected at all by the riots in Brazil. So, and the reason why I even brought up the riots in Brazil is because they're like storming the Capitol kind of thing. And so it's not like it's just riots. It's like they're breaking into government buildings. So I'm sure people have probably seen that on the news. And so I didn't know how that was going to affect the markets today. But I got like a notification from Seeking Alpha at like 4:50 in the morning. It was like chaos in Brazil. I was like, oh, what's this? Yeah, I didn't even know that was going on. I tend to stay out of the news cycle as much as I possibly can. Um, News cycle will definitely like add a lot of toxicity to your life, so I try to like stay away from it. 0.7 to 1.5 to 1.5. Gonna have some flattening on the TTM. Gonna take a short here. I think 5 ticks, maybe a little aggressive for the short. I'm just looking for a move down to 67. My entry's at 6,750. I'm gonna cut this, take that loss. Still up 600. Kind of a slow grind on the profit today. Glad I cut it though. It popped up. So taking kind of way too many trades today. But the more trades we take, even if they're profitable trades, the less our margins are. I'm gonna reduce this to 3 ticks. Seems like we can get 3 tick moves pretty consistently right now. Turn a bit here. Oh, damn. Okay, well I guess it was profitable. I tried to I tried to enter at the bottom of that candle for the pop up towards the top, which it did. And then when I thought that I wasn't gonna do it, it filled me. And then I happened to have hit flat immediately. Gratefully, it got out 1 tick up. Seeing some momentum now on the TTM. Moving from 1.7 to 2.2 up to 2.6. So getting some upward pressure. Again, kind of a slow grind to the upside. Not as bad as Friday. Not nearly as choppy as Friday. But still great movement on it. Not necessarily momentum trades. One of the reasons I'm scalping as opposed to momentum trading is because the momentum that we are seeing is kind of like slower moving. Certainly, this would have been a very nice momentum area. But we are seeing like kind of a bit of a slower move on things. 2.2 to 2.4. Now 2.7. Big wicks on these candles. Kind of some indecision up here. From 68 to 71. It's a 12 tick indecision. I seem to be going in the wrong direction a couple of times today. This could end up being reminiscent of Friday if I'm not careful. Cutting this trade. Come on. Yeah, I'm out. All right. I very clearly need to slow down. I can tell because I'm starting to go in the wrong directions at times. So I'm looking for a little bit more consistency on things. I can see that there's some choppiness beginning to arrive in the market, and through that choppiness, I'm worried that I may end up like doing what I'm beginning to do. This is like popping again. Worried that I'm gonna like, be trying to take like ups and downs through these little like practically sideways moves. On the 20-day, we hit as high as 4180. If you look at this on the 20-day though, we actually got a 5200 crossover on a 20-day chart. So on the hourly, we've got a 5200 crossover, which we haven't had. Like, we got a crossover to the downside on the 20-day back here. When was this? December 15th. And we kind of sold off quite a bit before they finally merged. This is totally like something that could be set up with a bot, honestly. They're like 5200 crossovers. It's one of my favorite strategies on a long, like for longer term trades. Pretty consistent how it works out. It also works really well for cryptocurrency. I'm gonna look for some cooling on the TTM now. I don't love trading near the highs because it just becomes really choppy. By the way, if you guys are interested in earning funding in the futures market, make sure you guys check out Elite Trader Funding. These guys are awesome. They really do have, in my opinion, some of the best plans that are available out there on the marketplace, especially if you use the link in the description and the promo code, because that'll lock in a lifetime discount. But you can earn funding as low as $10K and as high as $300,000. We've had a couple of people actually grab like the $250,000 evaluations. And so, more power to those people. I mean, that allows for a hell of a lot of positions to be able to be taken, up to 24 minis and 240 micros. Personally, I'm working on the 50K evaluation, which allows me 8 contracts in the mini and 80 micros with a profit target of 3,000 and a drawdown of 2,000. This is a trailing max drawdown. And I'm also working on the 100K static evaluation. Static evaluations work a little bit differently. They have a set amount of dollars that you can lose. And once you go anything above that, you're in. Anything below that, you're out. They're very simple to understand. And that's one thing I really like about the static drawdowns. They've also added a new static plan, which is the 150K, which allows 4 contracts in the mini, which you guys see me trade all the time. In the simulator as 4 contracts with a profit target of 4,000. I actually considered picking this up. It wasn't around at the time that I set up my evaluations, but it's around now. Just make sure that whatever evaluation style you guys decide to go with, they have the end of the days like most traditional prop firms as well. Just make sure you click the see more details link that is listed on each and every plan type, so that you guys can pick the evaluation that's right for you. Use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST, and you'll be able to lock in a lifetime discount on that and earn funding along with me as well. So I'd love to take that journey with you guys. So yeah, guys, check them out if you are looking to earn funding in the futures market. Personally, I think it's one of the best values in trading, and provides traders with the biggest opportunity available to them, unless they already have that cash on hand. But I think that the idea of being able to trade with somebody else's capital, and being able to put that into the market and doing a split with them, I think it's one of the best values out there, because you put very little risk forward for yourself while someone else takes the vast majority of the risk. Getting some pullbacks off these highs. We do got this TTM kind of dropping pretty reasonably. Selling market here. And looking for a push down towards this 26. I'd like to see a 9-12 crossover. And honestly, I would like to actually see the market fall back down towards volume weighted average price so that we can reconsolidate in a better, so that we can reconsolidate at lower numbers and sort of bring these down to more manageable levels. TTM falling back a little bit more from 3.4 to 3.0. So not much movement on that. I'm just looking for this to drop below 70 and lose support off 70. I definitely could have got a better entry on this, and as you guys know, I'm trying to work on my entry points because it is an area that I've struggled with for a while. Did make a small trade on that, but I have struggled with my entries, and part of that is because a lot of times I'm just joining the bid and just trying to jump in on something that is moving, and that is useful at times, but also it can harm me by putting me too far, like too high or too low on the trade, depending if I'm going long or short. So it's something I'm kind of working on. I'm working on planning my entry points. Like right now, I would want to enter off of 70 if I can, but it's just ripping on past me. I'm gonna try and get in at 70.5. Entered at 70 and a half. I'm looking for a move up to 71 and a quarter. Took the profit off there, made $100 on that. Pretty able to get 2-tick trades today. I don't love scalping days like this, but we are up 3,000 over last week, so that's a good thing in the sim. I don't love it when it's like scalping like this. I prefer momentum trades, but you gotta play the market you're in, not the market you want, right? Okay, so getting the same kind of pullback that we've been getting before. So likely we're gonna push up and test somewhere around 74, actually making a new high. I actually put this on a 5 ticks. Looking for an entry off 71 and a half. Cutting that and just joining the bid. Which I did get my entry at 71 and a half. Looking for a move up to 73. Hands over the cover button. Our peak of the day is $800 in profit. Watching the bulls bears very closely. Reducing. I should have popped on that one there. I don't know if I'll hold this. Currently flat on it. TTM looking like 2.4 to 2.2 to 2.0. Slight downward momentum. Don't like that there's that doji at the top there. Coming up on 830 as well. Taking that profit off, made $50. Up 700, our peak of the day is 800. Obviously that was on less trades, so probably pop now that I cut it. but our peak of the day was 800. It's on less trades, so that means less fees. Obviously, you want to make as much profit as possible in the least amount of trades possible. That way, you pay the least amount of fees. We got a red dot forming on the TTM, which makes me a little bit more inclined to want to go short, but I'm not going to base my move off of that. Especially because we went from 2.2 to 2.0 to now 1.9. I'm going to pull back on the chart, take a look at what we're looking at on the 3-minute. And this is going from 9.6 to 0.5 to 0.2 to 8.9 to 8.4. So we've actually got some weakening on the TTM on the longer time frames. That may not mean much until we get closer to a red switch. It really means more when we start getting closer to a red switch. Also, when we take a look at the moving averages, whether we're on the 1, the 3, or the 5, right now, all of our moving averages are in bullish form. We've got the 9 above the 12. The 12 is above the 26. The 35 is not above the 26. So this is bearish here, but this is bullish. So we went from bullish to bullish and from bullish to bullish. And then we go from that bullish to bearish. And then we've got from that bearish to 35 above 50. So we went from bearish, so bullish to bullish to bearish to bullish down here above the 50. So we have far more bullish indicators or moving averages in bullish indication than we do bearish. Even though we're seeing cooling on the TTM, we're still grinding up as well. That's on the 3. The 5-minute's not much different. It's looking about the same. 6.5 to 5.9 to 5.6. So 5-minute also kind of telling us the same story, that we're eventually going to fall down, but our fall is going to be probably kind of smaller. Right now, I'm not going to take any trades. I'm going to be looking for something like the 26 to cross above the 12 or the 9 to cross below the 12 in order to look at taking our next trade. Right now, everything's kind of flat and choppy to the sideways. Yeah, I think this is really sound trading practices, Tiny. Taking less trades. Sometimes I feel like I take more trades on stream than I would if I was trading off stream. And I think that's because, like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel less patient on stream. It definitely does affect my trading when I trade on stream. Not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. Just it just affects it. I took a lot of trades today. But yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I actually agree with that. Like, I think I take more for the entertainment value of it. Like being on here, like, I do feel a sense of responsibility to do my best for you guys. Not just my best in terms of trading, but my best in terms of emotional control, my best in terms of making this an interesting stream, and all of and everything in between. So I do think it factors. Tiny, you've been you've grown so much in terms of your trading in the last like 6 months. Uh, and just the way that I've seen your emotional control grow, your stoicism grow, your emphasis on your strategy, and even your ability to take profits. I know like recently you took a three-figure profit on a day, as opposed to a lot of your other days you're taking 2 and 3 and $5 and single figure profits. And I know recently you took over $100 out of the market in your paper account. And I just want to express that, like, I'm proud of the progress that I'm seeing there. Because I do think that you've improved a lot in the last few months, and even substantially in the last few weeks too. I can see that there's sort of like that point at which the knowledge begins to like apex, and it becomes like your confidence builds and things start clicking that they made sense before, but now they click into a different capacity. And I'm starting to see that more and more from you. I see it from your posts in the groups. Even if I don't respond to every single post in the group, I do read them. It's just, I manage a lot of stuff. I manage multiple households, and it's a big challenge. Um, so for the record, I don't have multiple families, but I do have like elderly people in my life, and I help manage their life as well as my own and my own family's. So you need a drop here. Like I said, I was looking for a short like this. I really just need to be on 2 ticks today. I want to take bigger trades, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to just stick with 2 ticks. Please don't allow me to change it. I keep changing it to try and change it to my normal trade style. But things like pull down 2 ticks from my entry, or go 2 ticks from my entry, and then it never fills the third, and then I'll like eventually cut it. It's been kind of frustrating, honestly. By the way, if you, like I said, guys, not too long ago, if you guys are looking to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. In my opinion, these guys are one of the best in the business. Link in the description. Use promo code JSBest for lifetime discount. Also, guys, some of the awesome members that we have in our Discord community, like Tiny, they're posting a lot of valuable, extremely valuable information in there. So if you guys are looking to get better at trading, or just have a community to trade with, where we talk about everything from futures, forex, crypto, to occasional market events, market calendar stuff, and entrepreneurship and philosophy, check out our Discord community. We're growing a little bit at a time, but it is a very active group of highly intelligent and skilled people. So check it out, guys. I would love to see you in there. And that's where I post a lot of my own, like my content as well, is posted up in that Discord community. Pulling back on TTM now from 0.17 to 0.7. I think I may see a pullback to the 50. Finally got a new peak of the day. Up 850 on the day. There's the pullback to the 50 EMA that I just mentioned. Now look for a bounce off the 50. This was the crossover I was looking for. And we got that pullback to the 50. Like I said, look for bounce off the 50. Maybe some stabilization here, and then a continued move up. It could just end up failing and pushing down further, like it looks like it wants to. But bounces off the 50 are really common. 0.8 to 1.3 on the TTM 1 minute chart. This kind of looks like a head and shoulders. We'll find out if it holds support on the 50, then we'll likely see more moving up. If it doesn't hold the 50, we may get continued dropping down towards the 200 moving average. But it looks like it might hold the 50. My lights are still flashing. Trip me out. Keep thinking I'm gonna drop. I had the power go out one time, dude, where I was like, oh, what's up with this? There we go. I had the power go out one time when I was in a trade. That scared the crap out of me. Because I was like, it was in my live account. And the power went out. And I was I was freaking out. I was on the phone with my brokerage firm, like on customer care, like on hold, like waiting to talk to a rep. And right as they picked up, my power came back on, and I was able to get logged back in. So I had to like reboot my computer and all that. And my power came back on, and I was able to log back in, and I was actually still in the trade. Um, but I happened to be up in the trade even more than I was expecting on my profit target. So I was like, oh, this is great. And just hit flat and just got out. I was like, I'll take that profit. So it worked out, but it was definitely very scary because it was in my live account, and it was before I was trading futures. It was like stocks only. And man, that scared the crap out of me. We have like really finicky power grid here. There's this bounce off the 50 I was describing. So I'm going to wait for a pullback to about 67.50. Try and get an entry out for 67.50. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Dang it. All right, then I'm going to cut that. I'm going to try and get an entry out for 68. Guess I just got to enter. Join the bid here. Got the entry way higher than I wanted to, and then it just pulls back exactly where I wanted my entry to be. Wow. What a boon, Annie. This literally was exactly what I wanted my entry to be, and it just was like holding up there. And I was like, okay, well, it's not going to do it. Then it just does. Like the moment I enter. Rookie move, I guess. Gonna cut this. It's not even a good trade. I'm out. Loss of 150 on that one. That was not a good trade on my part. I tried to get in like right here, like off of this entry point. Like really like 750 was the entry point that I was going for. And when I saw that wasn't filling, I wanted to get in at 68. 750 was the right entry because it did pop up to where my exit would have been. And now we're getting subsequent pullback. I feel kind of like hectic in my energy, which is never a good place to be for me when it comes to trading. I mean, we have a very obvious head and shoulders pattern here. Like it looks obvious anyway. But we did have patterns on Friday that were continued to be false over and over. So, but I definitely feel like hectic in my own like mental energy. And so yeah, so I don't know. I clearly need to pull back a little bit. If I'm looking at the moving averages here, everything's beginning to look bearish. TTM is red. Okay, so we're on the bearish side of that. We've got the crossover of the 26 above the 12. The 9 is now below the 12, and we're crossing below the 35 with the 9 and the 12. So by all accounts, this does look bearish. Movement of 2.0 to 2.5 to 3.0 to 3.5 on the TTM. I may look for a short off of 67. Or move down to make it a momentum-ish move here. Try for 66.50. Move down to 65. Nope, not happening. A few seconds left on this candle. 3.0 to 3.5 on the TTM. Looking for short off of 66. Little micro trade on there. So all in all, decent day in terms of trading. I definitely could have traded a lot better today. Let's take a look at the situation. We're up 750, but we're up on 124 contracts. Adding in our fees, it really isn't that much. We're up $209 and 36 cents today, which we had a really hard time breaking. Not like some of our other days where we've been up 3, 4, 5,000 or even 10,000 on the day. But green, we are green. Green is good. So we are moving in the right direction. That's a good thing. Having said all that, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We're up here. We've been streaming for about an hour and a half. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Aside from those things, I would like to see you guys in our Discord community. Jump in there, say hi, let us know, anything we can do to improve the stream, any of those types of things. But also, too, if you would like a community that can potentially help you become a better trader by working and communicating with other traders who also maintain the philosophy of being optimistic and personal growth and all those other things, join that Discord community, guys. We'd love to see you in there. We're growing it very slowly but surely. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. And again, if you want to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. Use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST, that's JSBEST, to lock in a lifetime discount on here. So, all right, guys, with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope you guys have an amazing, optimistic, beautiful day. And I will see you tomorrow at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. Like I said, next Monday, 1 week from today, we will be back on trading our evaluations. We'll be trading two of them, the 100K and the 50K. We'll be trading both those evaluations starting Monday. And I believe that this time our approach will be a little bit different than what it has been. We've come very close to passing that evaluation 3 times now. One of them where we were $100 away and then subsequently failed on it. But our approach this next time is going to be focused on getting the right entries, which I'm working on currently in the sim. Lights are still flashing. We'll be working on our entry points. Our exit points we've been pretty solid on. But we'll be working on our entries. We'll also maybe mostly focused on using the evaluation software as the charting software, as opposed to jumping back and forth on TOS and Tradeovate. Maybe focus on just Tradeovate. So, and I say that because I really want that to be kind of the sole focus. It's a little bit hard to measure TTM there, because it's like constantly scaling it. And I guess it's a feature, not a bug, but it still kind of bugs me. So anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time. Join me in the Discord community where I'm about to post my results for the day. I love and appreciate each and every one of you optimists. And we will see you tomorrow, 7:30 market time, or 7:30 Pacific time, 10:30 market time. All right, guys, much love and appreciation. Peace.